I've got a whistle. Do you have a whistle? Or you could just have music or whatever, but I'm gonna use a whistle and I get to tell you what to do, okay? Now in our story today, this guy did not want to obey, so he chose to go this way when God wanted him to go that way. He did the opposite of what God wanted him to do. Okay, oh, we have an extra helper, come on over. Okay, we're playing a game, are you ready? When I blow the whistle, then you can hop, 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 hop like this. And when I blow the whistle again, then you stop. The next time I want you to do jumping jacks, okay? And the next time I want you to go on one foot. Can you remember all those instructions?
I think so.
Except, now the trick to this is when I blow the whistle, I want you to go this way, but everybody has to go that way. Because remember, Jonah didn't obey God. Ready? Here we go. So, I want you to go this way. You're going to do the opposite of what I tell you to do. Ready? Hop. Hop that way, because I told you to go this way. Jumpy jacks. I want you to go this way. This way, this way. Oh, you're going to do the opposite of what I tell you to do. Okay. Now I want you to go that way. So which way are you going to go?
That way.
Yes. One leg. Okay. Now I want you to pat your head while you go this way. You know what? These guys are not very obedient, are they? I told them to go that way, they go that way. If I tell them to go that way, they go that way. The opposite of what I tell you to do. In our story today, the same thing's going to happen. Yes, it is. So you can play as long as you want. All right, it's Bible memory time. This is our last week for this verse, so I'm hoping that you'll know it all by yourself. Can you do this with me? Hands free? Here we go. I look up to the mountains. Does my help come from there? My help comes from the Lord who made the heaven and earth. He will not let you stumble. The one who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel never slumbers or sleeps. Psalms 121, verses 1 through 4. Okay, can you do this all by yourself now? We're going to do it again, but I want to see if you can do it all by yourself. I'm going to do just the actions, and then I'll go over it one more time. Ready? Here we go. How did you do? Did you do it? Let's do it one more time. I look up to the mountains. Does my help come from there? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let you stumble. The one who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will never slumber or sleep. Psalms 121, verses 1 through 4. I hope you got that. Next week we have a new verse. It's Bible story time. And the Bible story is true. Why do we know it's true? Because it comes from the Bible. That's right, it's a true story from the Bible. Now, in our story today, we have a story about a guy named Jonah. I bet you've heard that story before, haven't you? We're going to have some fun with it, okay? All right. So, Colin, come on over. He's going to be my Jonah today, all right? Now, Jonah actually loved God. He loved God with all his heart. But God had a job for him to do. Jonah was like a messenger. You know, like your mailman? He comes and brings you letters, mail, whatever. Well, Jonah was a messenger. They didn't have that way of doing things in those days. So God would give people messages. They're supposed to go and give them the message to the people that he wanted to get the message, right? So God said to Jonah, I don't know if it was a dream or prophetically out loud or how exactly it was, but he told Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh and tell the people there about God. Jonah did not want to do that. He did not, because the people in Nineveh were terrible. They were not obeying God. They were disobeying. They were sinning. And Noah thought, you know what? They get what they deserve. I don't want to go to Nineveh. No. So, let's see. You have a decision to make, Jonah. Are you going to go over where you're supposed to go, to Nineveh? Are you going to head a different direction? He's heading a different direction. He's on his way to Tarsus, opposite direction. He hopped on a boat. Let's pretend this is a boat, okay? He hopped in a boat with other people, and before long, do you know what was happening? There was a storm. The wind was blowing, and the boat was rocking, and there was thunder, and it was raining. It was downright miserable. Oh no, the people in the boat, other than Jonah, they were afraid. They were afraid because they thought, oh no, we're going to sink. The ship is going to break. We'll all drown. They were so scared. Uh-oh, this got Jonah thinking. He knew that he disobeyed God. And this was probably his fault. In fact, he knew it was his fault. Let's face it. They started taking things out of the boat so it would lighten the boat so that maybe they wouldn't sink. But it didn't help. Jonah kind of thought, you know what? This is my fault. You guys, throw me overboard. What? You want us to throw you overboard?
Yup.
Oh, it's a mean thing to do, but man, if it's his fault and he disobeyed God, he's a goners. Well, he could swim a little bit, but he got tired. And all of a sudden, there was this big, huge, gigantic fish. Maybe a whale. Let's pretend this is the whale. And he opened his big old mouth, and boom, gone was Jonah in the belly of a whale. Oh no. That's not a very good feeling. No. Perhaps Jonah should have obeyed God. Yeah, that would have been a good plan. But he hadn't. Is there still hope for Jonah? Is there? Well, in the belly of the whale, Jonah was praying. He was praying, God, please give me another chance. I know I disobeyed you. Please forgive me. If you give me another chance, I will go. I will go to Nineveh and do what you asked me to do. Well, what's the likelihood of that happening? After not one, not two, but after 3 nights in the belly of the whale, what happened? The big whale opened his mouth and threw up, and there was Jonah in the sand. Ew. I bet he didn't
Smell very good either. I think he smelled kind of fishy.
Yeah, I think so too. Got up. Ugh, I hope he cleaned himself off. But this time, is he gonna go that way to Tarsus? Or do you think he'll go that way to Nineveh? You're right. He chose to obey God. And he gave the people of Nineveh the good news about God. And some of them did believe in God, even though he didn't think they deserve it because they were mean people. But God knew. God knew that Jonah needed to choose to obey and help those people love Jesus. What about you today? Can you do something that's really hard for you to do? Some people are harder to love than others. It's true. Some people are just mean. It's hard to be kind and nice to them. But God has a job for you to do. No matter what the people are like, you still need to be kind. You need to choose to obey God. You can do a big thing with God's help.
Hi guys, I like the story of Jonah. So we're going to do a craft about Jonah today. So we learned that Jonah chose to disobey God, and he got on a boat and he went in the opposite direction that God told him to. So we're going to build that boat, and we're gonna make Noah and the whale as well. So you're going to need paper plates like this to make the boat, and you're going to cut it out so it's going to look like this. So you're going to cut one completely in half, and then the other one you're going to cut in half, but you're going to leave just a little handle. That's the top of the boat. So it should look like this. Then you're going to need to staple it or glue it like that. Okay, so after that you're going to need clothespin and some glue. You're going to draw on little pieces of paper. I drew my own little whale and Jonah. Okay, so for the paper clip, this is going to be my whale. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of my whale so he'll stick. The top part of the clothespin is the top of the whale's mouth. The bottom part is going to be the bottom part of his mouth. So that when I open my clothespin, it's like the whale opening his mouth. All right, so here's Jonah. And I'm going to put him on the stick like this. So he's a little puppet guy on a stick, on a popsicle stick. So you can reenact the story by putting Jonah in the ship, and then you can have your whale down here ready to receive Jonah. And that's it.